In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Strauch Photography, and I hope I said that right. We'll start by going to the URL for your site, and then you add in /wp-admin to the end. That's how you log in. So you'll use the username or the email address that we've given or set up, and then the password. So now we're in the back end, and I'm going to take you through and we'll go down the list of these items here on the left, and we'll just go through all the things that make up your site. So we'll start with updates. Updates are the plugins and different things that it takes to run your site, the theme and plugins. And if you ever want to update them, you can just by selecting them and updating them. For the sake of time, I'm not going to do that right now, but that's all that is. Since we host and support your site, for all those sites that we host and support, we regularly check and update all of our sites. So if you never want to worry about that, you don't have to. So let's move on. Posts, you're not using blog posts. Yes, you're not. So we'll move on to media. Your media library is basically just where all of your media is located. Any photo from your website is here. You can look at them. You can get the URL for your picture here. But anytime that you're going to need to use media items or add them, that'll be within wherever you're at. So that's just so you know, that's where those are. That's what that means. So we'll move on to forms. You have a contact form, which is a pretty simple form, and it just has name, email, and how can we help. So if you ever want to edit any of these items, you just click on it and you can remove the last name, or you can change the field label. You can make it not required. You can drag these items around, and you can add new items through these fields over here. So let's say you wanted to add something else like buttons, then you could change the title and say, how did you hear about us? And then change your options, and then add more options or delete more options. And then if you decide you don't want it, you can just delete it. And under settings, you'll want to look at these settings. If you make any changes to the form, be sure to save them. I didn't, because obviously I don't want to save any of those changes. Notifications. This is who will receive a notification if anyone submits a form. So what you want to do is change this email here to your email. So you could duplicate it and then come in here and change this email to your email, which I can do that for you after this video. I need to look up your email, but that's where that's located, and just so that all of the fields from the form will just go directly to your email and you don't always have to look at it. Or you can go to entries here, and then that's where you will find the people who have viewed your form or submitted a form, excuse me. So moving on, we'll talk about pages. So you've got your store and your about page and a contact page. Those are the main things that we want to look at here. So let's look at the about page. And this is where your text is located on that page. So all of this text, if you want to change any of it, that's where it's located. Also, if you log in and then open up the front end of your site while you're logged into the back end, you can just click edit here and it'll take you directly to the page that you want to edit. And so about is your header there. So if you want to change that, that's where you change that. And then this is the words that you have, and you can change the size of any of these words. You can bold, italicize, align them differently, bullet, number, anything. And then you can also hyperlink to another page. So you would highlight something and you could hyperlink to a page within your site, any of your products or another page. You would just click on it and then click add link and it'll make that. Or you can edit the link and you can link to anywhere. Oops, I didn't do that right. Edit the link. There you go. But I'm going to remove the link because we don't want that. And you would hit update if you make any changes. The picture at the top of the page is set through featured image, and so if you want to remove it, you can remove it, or you can change it. And you would just upload a new picture right here. And then click update anytime you make a change. That's the about page. Then we'll look at your contact page. So this page here has a featured image, contact, and then a little word here and your form. That's done through, you've got contact as your header, your words are right here, which you can edit as you want, and your form is added just through this button here, and you only have one form, and so you don't want to display the title or the description, and it's just added right there. And obviously we don't need two of them, but that's just short code for the form. And then the featured image is down here again if you ever want to change that to a different one or change any of the wording. Again, you would just come in and click update. And then store. For this page, you've got some words here at the top, and that you'll see are right here. And so like I made this contact us wording that links to your contact page, and then this has all of your details about ordering and purchasing things. So if you ever want to change any of that, that's right here. And I made it heading 6, which is just a smaller type, so it's not super big, but you can still see everything. And then this is your store page, and I'll show you how to update and change these different products in just a minute. And then we have your cart page. Which looks like this. Which I don't think that you'll want to change anything on those pages. And you've just got the short code for the checkout page. So we'll move on. I don't think that you're using these galleries for anything. No, you're not. Homepage areas is next, and that is what creates your homepage, as you would guess. Got a slider and then got a few different elements. So let's take a look. These are ordered through this reorder button here. As you can see, they're not in the right order here. So under reorder, you would drag them to whatever order you want them to be in. So slider, I'll show you how to change that slider if you would ever want to. This stuff here at the top. But right here, it's just short code placed in this homepage area. I'll show you how to update it when we get further down. And intro words, it's gonna be these right here. So all I've done on this homepage area is centered all of your text and then made this heading 1, which is the larger of the fonts or the font sizes. And if you scroll down, this is how we format those homepage areas. The only thing that's formatted on this one, since it's just a plain white background, is we've got padding on all sides of the text. So then let's look at this homepage area. So for this one, we've got a photo on one side and the title on the other. And how that's done is I put whatever I want to be the words right here. And then this word purchase is linked. I showed you how to make that hyperlink to a specific product, and you can do that by clicking the little gear, and like I showed you on the last page, and then it'll come up and you can see it. And this one is formatted as a button, so it's you just highlight it and click button, and then background image, which just becomes the image to the side, is through here, and you click add file and choose it, and looks like that's it. And then we just want to make sure left right product pods is selected as yes here. So if you wanted to add another product here and you wanted 4 sections on the home page, all you do is just replicate exactly what you see here. So you'd add a new homepage area. I would center all your text, make this heading 1, make this a button through format button, and then come down to the bottom, select whatever photo it is, and select left right product pods and click update. And then it will show up here and you would order it correctly. So those 3 are all done the same way, and it just automatically puts them on the opposite side, the photo on the opposite side, so you don't ever have to worry about that. And then I believe this is done through Widgets. So we'll get to that in just a moment. So you would just give it a title. And then what's the word we're using? Purchase. So center this text. Make this heading 1. I'm going to link this to this product. So we'll call it. And then scroll down here. Add that file. Click publish, and then go to this reorder. We'll put it there. And then refresh. Oh, I didn't make it a button. So make this a button, update it. And there you go. There it is. And then if I decide I don't want that, which I don't, I'm going to throw it away. And then it ends up in this trash folder where I can either restore or delete permanently. So let's refresh this page and make sure it's all back to the way it was. Yes, it is. Okay. Awesome. So we'll move on. You're not using this staff members currently. WooCommerce is where all of your orders are located. So the first item is orders, and then we've got all these different settings and other items. So this is where you can see your payments, your actions, where to ship, and the order. And this all should be set up going to your email as well, but now you just know where that's located in the back end of your site. So if you end up having any questions about this, let us know. But for now, we'll move on to products. So as you add products, most of everything that you've got here is all the same price. So the easiest way for you to do this, what I would suggest, is to duplicate one that's already there. And it's going to take you right to that page where you're going to edit it. Looks a lot like the pages items. So then you would just give it a new title and then scroll down. And you would change out the image. So choose a different image. And then it's already set up to, if you go to variations, you can see all the different variations here. So if you end up wanting to remove one of these, you would just click remove and get rid of it. But the same ones are already there. So I think that's going to be the main thing that you want to do. And then I would just always, and then you'd click publish or save draft or preview or whatever you want to do, but always click update as you make any changes. If you want to add different sizes, then you're going to do that through attributes. So go to attributes, and then this is where all of those are located, and they're all separated by a line. And so if you just want to add another one, all you'd have to do is add that line and then add whatever new variation you wanted, and then click save attributes and make sure it's used for variations. And then variations, I would remove what's there. Create variation from all attributes. And then it's going to add everything that was added through those attributes. And then to edit them, you would click on, each item, and then you can edit the price here. And you can edit any of these other items just by clicking on it and editing it there. And then always click save changes. So basically, you've just been doing the same thing, and so if all you want to do is just do the same thing, all you have to do is duplicate that product, change the name, and change the picture, and that's it. But that's just so you know how to change. And if you ever want to remove some of the options, then just click remove, and that's all you got to do. You can rearrange them by dragging them, and then I want to delete this thing that I just made. And it'll show up on your page. So you won't have to add it or anything. It'll just show up in the store. Right there. So we'll move on to appearance. Two things we need to talk about here: widgets and menus. So we'll start with widgets. Visual editor, this is just where this links to your home page and your name on the home page. So you're probably not going to change anything there. And then the menu will be underneath that. Don't need to change anything there. This is just enabled so that your homepage areas can work. And then you'll want to know in this footer, this information right here can be changed through there. And then this is where this part is located. I skipped over it. The image can be changed here. You can change the size, and then you can choose the image to change it if you ever want to. And then the words are located here, and then they can be formatted in whatever way you want and changed, and just make sure that you click save. And we'll move on to menus. If you ever want to add a new menu item to the top, you have room to do so. If you ever create a new page, then it's going to show up right here, and you can add it to the menu like that. You can change the title, can remove it, and that's where all that's located. You always want to click save. So probably not going to do a whole lot of changes or anything there, but if you do end up needing help or changing anything, you can let us know. That's just the main things. Plugins, that's what are used to build your site. If you want to add new plugins and build new things on your site, more than welcome to. Probably not going to, so I won't go into much there. And this users, we'll talk about users. This is where once we give you an administrator login, you can change your password right here if you want to. So that's where that'll be located. And you can add more administrator access if you want. You just want to make sure your password is very good, solid, a good password, because that's going to protect your site, and you don't want to give many other people administrator access. Tools, settings, SEO, not things we're going to talk about here. If you do end up having questions about SEO or anything, you can ask us. But I'm not going to talk about that today. Duplicator, something we use to build the site. So the next thing we're going to talk about is slider revolution. And for your slider, what you have is what we call a static image, or static layer, excuse me. This right here is on every slide. So you can see this global layer is on every slide. And I'm going to look at that. So if you want to change it, these are the elements. I can just click on this. You can make it lowercase if you want. You can change the font. You can get rid of this line. You can view all of your elements through here. You can get rid of the arrow. Probably not going to, but if you want to. And then it's a responsive slider, so you just want to make sure that it fits within every one of these bounds on each screen size. And the way that you change the background is, so right now I'm choosing to edit this static layer if I want, but I don't want to edit that, so I'm going to go to this slide. And you won't see this static layer on this slide, you'll just see the picture. So if I want to change the background image on this one, all I have to do is go to Media Library and choose a new image, and then click Insert, and it will show up. Or if you just want to add more pictures instead of changing it, what I would do is, again, I would just duplicate this, and it's going to create a new slide, and then click on it, and then change the background image. The only other element that's at play on your slider is this zooming feature, so it looks kind of like it's zooming in and out on these photos, and that's done through Ken Burns here. And you can see that the background position on the X and Y axis, we've played around with it a little bit to move it so that it sits in a good place and looks good in the background. And you can change that if you want, and then it'll show you a preview of it here. And then scale in %. If this number is larger and it goes to a smaller number, then it's going to zoom out, and then vice versa. Smaller to a larger number, it'll zoom in. Or I may have that backwards, but you can check and look, and that's the only other element that's at play there. And so if I want to just get rid of this, I can, which I do. And you'll always want to click Save if you make any changes, and you can click Preview if you want to see what it looks like. And then you can look at it on each screen size. And if you ever want to know where the shortcode is for this slider, if you ever want to put it somewhere else on the site, it's located right here. The next thing, I don't think you're using a Google map, and I think that may be everything. We've gone through it all. So if you have any questions about your site, feel free to ask us, but this should get you started and help you be able to access the things that you need and be able to fill orders and add new products, things like that. But let us know if you have any more questions. We'd be happy to help.